After 8 long hours on the road, I finally rolled into Madisonville, Tennessee. The weathered welcome sign leaned slightly to the left. Welcome to Madisonville, TN, population 5,259. Well, I guess they can go ahead and bump that number up, I muttered. Make that 5,261. And I knew people were watching. Traffic slowed as I made my way down Main Street. Faces turned toward me, some curious, some shocked, others trying not to look too long but failing miserably. In a town like Madisonville, a woman riding a bike like mine was more than a spectacle. It was a disruption, a challenge, and a statement. But I didn't care. I wasn't here to blend in, and I sure as hell wasn't here to shrink. The leather clung to my body like a second skin. Chris had given them to me with a smirk and a raised brow, saying they'd look even better with a little road dust on them. He hadn't been wrong. I sat tall in the saddle, back straight, chin lifted, leather-wrapped thighs, straddling the rumbling beast of a bike like I'd been born on it. This wasn't about looking good for anyone else. It was about owning every scar, every mile, every moment that had led me here. Chris used to say I had a fire in my soul and a don't fuck with me aura that could set a man's ego on fire just by walking into the room. That fire hadn't gone anywhere. I turned off Main and followed the familiar 2-lane road toward the old quick pump station that sat just outside of town. I needed a breather before I faced my parents' front porch. As I pulled into the lot, my eyes landed on 3 motorcycles parked diagonally a few pumps down. They weren't just bikes. They were monsters, gleaming chrome and black steel, lined up like wolves on a scent. A small group of men stood near them, all leather cuts, heavy boots, and broad shoulders that said they weren't just passing through. They moved with that particular ease. One I recognized instantly. They were both confident and coiled, like they were the kind of men who didn't ask for space. They took it and owned it. I couldn't make out the patch on their cuts from this angle, but the air around them practically vibrated. Not in a loud way, but in a dangerous one. Something about them set off my instincts. Not fear, exactly, but awareness. Like the way your body reacts just before a summer storm breaks. I eased into a spot near the front, kicked the stand down with a practice motion, and climbed off the bike. Removing my helmet, I slid on my sunglasses and tossed my long braids over one shoulder. Straightening my spine, I walked toward the quick pump entrance with the kind of stride that said I belonged here, even if my nerves were still catching up. Just act cool, Anna, I told myself. Like it's just another day and you're not sauntering past 3 sinfully hot bikers like a damn smoke show on a chrome throne. Leather clinging in all the right places and attitude sharp enough to draw blood. The air still carried that early spring bite, cool enough to keep your edge sharp. 3 men leaned against their bikes at the quick pump, cigarettes hanging loose between calloused fingers, leather cuts bearing the kings of chaos patch bold and unapologetic. Duke stood at the front, vice president of the Kings of Chaos, his presence heavy and unyielding, broad shoulders, dark hair cropped close, eyes the color of storm clouds that had seen too much and apologized for none of it. He moved with the kind of lazy confidence that only came from knowing you could end a man before he finished his first punch. Then he saw her. The motorcycle pulled into the lot first, atomic blue, custom build, loud as sin. Then the rider swung a leg over and stood up, and Duke forgot how to breathe for a second. Leather. Everywhere. Black riding leathers that hugged every curve like they'd been painted on, creaking softly as she moved. Long braids thrown over one shoulder, helmet tucked under one arm, sunglasses hiding her combination. Most women either cowered or threw themselves at kings of chaos patches. This one? She acted like they didn't exist, like 3 dangerous men in leather were about as interesting as a gas pump. She's packing Iron Guardian's colors on that bike, Rook said, low and observant. Recognize the build. Chris Carter's old ride. Duke's jaw tightened. Chris Carter. Undercover cop. Dead over a year now. Shot in a drug bust gone wrong. The widow. Duke said. His voice rough. Anna Carter. Or Anna whatever she went by now. Chris's old lady. The one the Iron Guardians had been protecting like a relic since the funeral. She came back out of the station a minute later. Soda in one hand, bag of chips in the other. Still didn't look at them. Just unlocked her helmet and slid it back on. Smooth and efficient. Thinks she knows we're here? Jax asked, amused. She knows? Duke said. He could see it in the set of her shoulders, the way her head tilted, just so, like she was listening without turning. Her body was aware of them even if her face pretended not to be. She swung her leg back over the bike. Key in the ignition. The engine roared to life, loud and proud. And that's when she finally looked over. Sunglasses still on, so he couldn't read her eyes. But he saw the tilt of her chin, the deliberate slow sweep of her gaze over all 3 of them, from their cuts to their boots and back up again. No fear. No flirty little smile. Just assessment. Cold, sharp, unimpressed assessment. She held his gaze for exactly 3 seconds. Long enough to make a point. Short enough to say you're not worth more of my time. Then she twisted the throttle and peeled out of the lot. Tires kicking gravel, the blue bike eating up the road like it was running from something or towards something and Duke couldn't tell which. He stood there for a long minute after she was gone, cigarette burning down to his fingers, the echo of her engine still humming in his bones. Well, Jack said, blowing out a low whistle. That was something. Duke crushed his cigarette under his boot. His jaw was set, his blood running hot, and something dark and possessive was already coiling low in his gut. The widow was back in Madisonville, and something told him this town was about to get a whole lot more interesting. Find out everything you can about her, Duke said, his voice low and final. Everything? He didn't know why. Not yet. But he knew one thing for certain: Anna Carter wasn't just passing through. She was here to stay. And the kings of chaos didn't let beautiful, dangerous women walk through their territory without knowing exactly who they were dealing with. Not ever.